Nobody expected Apple's cheapest laptop to completely shatter sales records the way the original MacBook Neo did. When you release a laptop that normal people can actually buy without taking out a loan, it turns out it sells like crazy. But if you were thinking about buying one today, hold on a second, because new details from the supply chain show that Apple is already gearing up for the MacBook Neo 2, and it could land much sooner than anyone predicted. The big surprise here is the launch timeline. Supply chain data shows that Apple tweaked its chip production schedules just to make room for this second-gen model. If things stay on track, we could see Apple drop this laptop as early as January, which is only 10 months after the first generation launched. Now, an early release is great news, but that is not the main reason existing owners are going to want to upgrade. The real kicker is the memory. The original Neo shipped with 8 GB of RAM, and let us be honest, that quickly became a headache for anyone doing real work. 8 gigs is fine if you're just typing notes or watching videos, but the second you load up a bunch of browser tabs, open heavier software, or try to run Apple Intelligence, the system starts to drag reports. Indicate Apple is fixing this major flaw by jumping to 12 GB of RAM on the Neo 2. That extra 4 gigs gives macOS way more elbow room to handle heavy multitasking, background tasks, and AI features smoothly. And Apple is pairing that extra memory with a huge bump in processing power. Rumors point to the inclusion of the A19 Pro chip, which brings a massive jump in graphics performance along with hardware-accelerated ray tracing. That means Apple's budget machine could suddenly handle light gaming and creative projects surprisingly well. But fixing raw speed is only half the battle if storage stays slow. That brings us to another massive pain point on the original: drive speed. The first Neo had relatively slow storage, which became a real bottleneck whenever macOS ran low on RAM and had to use the drive as swap memory. The Neo 2 is expected to feature upgraded SSDs that could potentially double both read and write speeds. That means faster boot times, quick file transfers, and much smoother performance when you push the system hard. Then there are the everyday quality of life upgrades that usually get stripped from budget laptops. Take charging, for example. The original Neo charged at a modest 20 watts, which felt a little slow when you were on the go. The Neo 2 could boost wired charging up to around 40 watts, cutting down your wall time significantly. On top of that, Apple is rumored to include its custom N1 wireless chip that would bring full Wi-Fi 7 support to the laptop, giving you faster connection speeds, better range, and smoother band switching on busy home networks. Combine all that hardware with deeper Apple Intelligence integration and the upgraded Siri experience, and this machine starts to feel less like a cheap option and more like a flagship in disguise. Now, before you get your hopes up on every single rumor out there, we need to talk about one feature that is definitely off the table. Earlier reports teased the idea that the Neo 2 might include a touch display, but newer sources confirm that idea has been scrapped completely. Why? Because Apple is saving touch functionality and Touch ID enhancements for its upcoming high-end MacBook Ultra lineup instead. Apple loves keeping a clear line between its budget gear and its top-tier devices, so keeping a standard display on the Neo keeps production simple and cheap. Which brings us to the part that really makes or breaks this laptop: the price. With all these upgrades, 12 gigs of RAM, an A19 Pro chip, faster SSD speeds, 40-watt charging, and Wi-Fi 7, you would expect Apple to bump the price up. But supply chain leaks suggest Apple plans to lock in that exact same $699 starting price. They might also introduce a new 1TB storage option for people who want extra space at a higher price tier. If Apple actually hits that $699 mark with these specs, the Neo 2 could easily dominate the entry-level laptop market. So here's the big question. Would you buy the MacBook Neo 2 for $699, or would you spend more and wait for the next MacBook Air? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.